Welcome back to everyone who's been keeping up with this project, and welcome to the new viewers. We are on to the last portion of this paver T-pad install, and that's going to be us installing these double border pavers and how we restrain them with concrete. It's going to be full of tips and tricks and some entertainment along the way. All the things you see in this video can be applied to any kind of concrete paver application, whether it be a walkway, a patio, or even a paver T-pad like we're obviously doing right here. If you are a new viewer and you want to see how we got to where we are, check out the playlist link in the description below. Let's get into the day. Benny, we're back. Day 3. Got some border laid out. It's been 2 days since we set this up. Still a little bit dark, not ready to step on. It's been covered, so it's setting a little bit slower. Today's gonna be a nice day, so the sun should help that process set it up. Don't mind my Cyclops up there. Benny's mirror imaging the side that we set up over here. And once we get it set up and we're happy with it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark the inside of these pavers. That way we can saw cut the edges. Some people use like a flexible piece of pipe or edging or something, which it works, but I just have found that it's not as precise as laying it out. And then you kick yourself if you cut the line in and then you see it afterwards that it's just slightly skewed when you put the border in. It's just no good. At least this way, you know for sure when you're done cutting that the border's gonna lay back in exactly how you saw it when you laid it out. Hey, you want to show these guys that pencil, dude? Where can you find it?
Home Depot.
The Home Depot. That's the power of the Home Depot. Ben's like, you're a clown. He's like, get away from me, clown. Just trying to mark these pavers. Better not have to sharpen that again, dude. Trying to bankrupt my company. Back in my day,
it's gonna be close.
I could mark 300 feet in one sharpen.
Just no wood, that's why.
Yeah, I just had to stick like a crayon in my hand, dude. It is absolutely gorgeous out, and not just gorgeous out, Benny. It's gorgeous in these woods, dude. That's why I love this course. It's not like it's wooded, but it's not wooded with like baby trees, you know what I mean? Like they're just all mature. Really mature, not a bunch of like straggly little crap everywhere. Just a beautiful place. Dry. Bone dry. Oh! Whoa, you went out. I like the chance of the machine combusting in my hand while I'm using it. Right. Makes life a little bit more fun. Time to cut. So this is a steel TS420 concrete cutoff saw. To buy it new, it's going to cost you about $1,200, but you can go to Home Depot and rent one for a day for like $70 or $80. Okay, so before we actually cut these all the way through, I'm scoring the line that we traced. I'm cutting the pavers about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch deep, and what that's going to do is give us a good guideline as we go to cut through the pavers all the way. This is crucial to making sure your cuts are nice and precise and that they all match up with each other perfect. If you don't do this, if you were to pull these pavers out and cut them one by one, just from the red line that you traced, what's going to happen when you go put them all back is that some of them aren't going to match up, or the line might be straighter than a line that it meets up with, and it just makes it look very unprofessional. This is the most precise way that you can get a curved cut out of pavers, is by scoring the line into it before you cut them. Mary Foggins. That's why you need a cut with water, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? Look at my poor truck.
I didn't even roll up your windows.
Dude, the wind has to be blowing that way, right?
I know.
It couldn't have been going that way. Oh well. Oh no, the Red Bull.
Look at it.
Dude, that thing's fucking pepper, dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, that... I don't know.
It's a little drier in there now.
Dude,
It's gonna be
thing,
cement in that thing, dude.
That's bad news, Benny.
I'm glad I still have one.
That is so bad news right there, dude. Here's the score line. So that score line is very important in my opinion to keep your cuts very accurate. If you were to cut each one of these one by one without the score line, they just wouldn't match up as nicely as they do after you score it. So you guys saw how much dust there was. It's a tough spot right here because we don't really have water to come out here and cut wet. I could have like a little hand pump sprayer with water, but then you make a really pasty mess. It'll be tough to clean this patio up after. So we got to cut it dry, got the mask, and unfortunately the wind is just blowing the wrong direction, but I'm gonna try to get through the cuts quickly so the dust will settle and we can move on. So like I was saying, there's definitely ways I could get water here on site and cut wet, but usually if we cut wet we need the hose to be able to wash all the paste off, and it just wouldn't have been feasible. So we try to get the cuts done as quick as possible and let the dust settle. Sometimes that's just the way it goes on site. You can't do much about it. What do you think, bud? Probably have to wait a couple hours till we do the other side so the cops don't show up.
Yeah, right. The freaking environmental police.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm telling you. They come with what? You got a better idea? Just talk. You got a better idea?
Look at him and just say the same thing. Oh, the lake's steaming today. Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. We actually chiseled these.
Yeah, chiseled them.
Believe it or don't. That's why they hired us. We're professionals. Benny, that came out mint, dude.
Yeah. That's the way it works with this kind of stuff. The further you get, the better it looks.
Mm-hmm. Every little step in the process. Wow. So now that our cuts are done, we're on to laying in the border pavers. As you can see here, I'm putting extra chipstone or bedding stone underneath our pavers so that they're higher than our main pavers, and I'm using my dead blow hammer to set them into place. We don't want these pavers level, we want a nice slope, and I'm going to show you in a minute here with the level what I mean by that. We need to account for water runoff on these pavers so that there's no puddling. But a common error people make when they put their border pavers in is that the border pavers are actually higher than the main pavers, and this can cause puddling on the edge. So as you're installing them and hammering them into place, make sure you got a level next to you. Check every brick and make sure it's the correct slope with no chance for water to get hung up on the edge. We typically set them 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch higher than the main pavers, and I'm going to let you see here how we set them into place. So I'm sure you can imagine that this is very time consuming, but it's a very important detail to a project that a lot of contractors don't do. And that's why the edges of paver installs so commonly fail and sink over time. You really need to lift them up higher and set them into place to account for that settling Mother Nature would do over time. Sun's hitting the concrete, helping that set up. Ben's got the left side done over there. I'm going to work on this right side. We're going to hold off on bordering this concrete pad just so it can set a little bit longer today and overnight, and then we'll continue the border all around it. But that border changes everything, dude.
It does.
Jeez. Okay, we're on to restraining the edge of these pavers, and the way I do that is with just some regular concrete mix. And I have a video about that. I actually have a couple, and I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to learn a little bit more in depth how we do that. But for now, just know we put a little trench along the edges, a few inches below the bottom of the pavers. We don't typically put rebar in it, but in this situation we are, because there's going to see a lot of foot traffic, seeing as it's a tee pad for disc golf. But the main reason we use concrete is because I personally think it's the strongest edge restraint option you can buy for pavers. Another big reason we use concrete is because I use open grade base, or in other words 3/4 inch clean crushed stone for my base material. And if I were to buy plastic edging with regular steel spikes, they wouldn't hold because my base stone is a loose aggregate. There's no fines or binder material mixed in. It's just clean, crushed, clear stone. They do sell a specific edging for open grade base, but it's very expensive and the spikes don't hold as well as concrete in my opinion. Our goal is to have about an inch or a little bit more beneath the top of the paver, so that whatever we backfill against, which in this scenario we're going to be using bark mulch, or wood chips I should say, like a playground mulch. So that's going to give it room to be able to fill up against it and rest on it, and you won't see the concrete. Generally when I concrete the edge for a patio or a walkway, I won't bring the concrete up as high or as wide if we're trying to establish grass next to it, but we're not trying to establish grass, and our main objective is to make this edge as strong as possible. So we're going thick, high, and we have rebar in it. Day number 4. Finished up the border and trenching for the concrete off camera this morning, but we're right there. Benny's making me mortar so I can start doing block work for our sitting bench, which is another video, and then he's going to make up some concrete and he's going to finish the edge of this T-pad with the concrete so everything gets locked in. Ben and I were talking about the shape of it, and he said it's a tall boy beer mug, and I said, you're right. What do you think about that?
That's what other people have said too, right? That's what the
yeah,
kind of look like a beer glass.
Julie said that. She said it looks like a big beer mug. I said, yeah, dude, for sure. Kind of unintentional, but cool. This concrete pad right here in the front is my favorite part of this design. There's a nice brush stroke finish on it, and it's curing up pretty good. And what that is going to help with is not slipping. Anyone that plays a lot of disc golf knows that the front of the tee pad, where you put your landing foot when you toss, has to be solid and not slippery. And a brush stroke finish on concrete is pretty much the best you can do when it comes to that, and it really just fits in with the design, no problem. thing's ridiculously cool. Jeez. That mulch changed everything. That's going to prevent any mud from getting on the patio. I say patio, the T-pad. Be able to walk across the mulch instead of mud. The man that really encased it. That's going to be one heck of a shot, guys. Man, did we have fun installing this paver T-pad. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, if you didn't see any of the videos to see how we got to where we are now, there's a link for the playlist in the description below. Feel free to leave any feedback in the comment section. If you're a disc golfer, let me know if you've ever seen a paver T-pad prettier than this one. And just any general feedback, feel free, guys. But as always, until the next video, peace.